Canelo Álvarez versus John Ryder for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Canelo returns home. The king has returned, they say. Let's talk about this fight and more on BWTM Sports Gaming. You know what I'm going to say? So let me say it to you. Don't go anywhere. This one will be interesting. Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. Glad you could join us. Canelo Álvarez versus John Ryder. This fight has been talked about for a while. It's no secret that the Canelo gravy train had to get restarted after the loss to Bivol. He hasn't really kind of like got back on the way it should have done because people still talking about that Bivol fight. It's still fresh in many people's minds. So Canelo has to keep talking about he wants that rematch. In the meantime, John Ryder has been waiting for his opportunity to become or to fight for the super middleweight championship of the world. And he's fought guys that people didn't expect him to beat, and he's beaten them. In fact, I think John Ryder, for me, I've always liked John Ryder, and I think he has grown into becoming one of the world's best super middleweights. And I'm really excited about this fight. I mean, I remember telling BWTM listeners, I used to say to you, like I said, that there were two guys that were out in the pasture eating grass. That was Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders. And when they got fat enough, they'd get dragged in and slaughtered. And you saw both that happen with both guys. Now, when John Ryder's name was mentioned the first time round, people were like, John Ryder. Who's John Ryder? Who's John Ryder? Who's John Ryder? And then we've called his name again. And I actually think now this is a better time for Ryder to fight Canelo than when it was originally scheduled. And here's a few reasons why. First of all, a lot of people in boxing have a habit, and I have to say this, of copy and paste. So they don't know a guy's name. They won't do the research on the guy. He's a bum. And they'll just completely write a guy off. And just this is exactly what happened with the Bivol fight. People thought, Bivol, who's he? Didn't do the research in his amateur pedigree. Didn't do his research in his pro career. And you saw the upset right there. It wasn't upset in my mind. I knew what Bivol was good enough. And Canelo cannot beat Bivol. He can't beat Bivol. Bivol's too long. Too much of a better boxer than Canelo. It's just not happening. It's just levels. And Canelo's good at a certain level. Good evening to you, Volts. Canelo's at one level, but Bivol, in terms of boxing ability, is another. He may not be a pay-per-view king. Or talk about boxing ability. Bivol is a better boxer. At the light heavyweight division, at least. I don't know what happens if he comes super middleweight. Different discussion. But anyway, back to this Ryder fight. Now, for me, I've always rated John Ryder. Always rated John Ryder. There are guys in boxing that, sadly, I don't really get time to go around and talk a lot about. But John Ryder is one of these guys I like. I like his style. He mixes punches up from body to head. And anybody who listened to me talk about John Ryder when he fought Callum Smith, I told everybody John Ryder will beat Callum Smith. He'll back Callum Smith to the ropes and he'll bully him all night long against the ropes. Because all what will happen is Smith will tuck up and Ryder will go to town on him. And that's exactly what happened. And it was some hometown cooking that allowed Callum Smith to get out of that fight unscathed. We now have Canelo. I'm not comparing Callum Smith to Canelo. There's a few things I want Canelo fans to understand. You can't forever be peaking. At some point you peak. As any athlete, you peak. You get to a certain level. And then you maintain, and then you drop off. That's with any athlete. You can't be expected to keep going and going and going at level over and over. Even the great Floyd Mayweather at some point. had to drop down levels, and that's why he got these exhibition bouts now. But he can't maintain that. And from what I hear about Canelo, he's not the same dedicated fighter that was before. He's into golfing, and he's not the same dedicated fighter. That's what I hear. Are those rumors true? I don't know. But he didn't look great in the Gennady Golovkin fight. Is that the start of Canelo wading? 1, 2. John Ryder. He's big, he's strong, he's good boxing ability, excellent inside fighter. But his head going to be on right for this fight? Is he going to seize the opportunity? Because if he seizes the opportunity, this is a great, great fight. And I'll tell you why. Because if I'm John Ryder's trainer, I will use the example of what Nigel Benn said if he ever was going to fight Roy Jones Jr. At the end of Ben's career, he was saying, you know what? I'm just going to train for 12 hard rounds and I'm just going to give it him. Basically, no boxing ability, just come straight forward and throw bombs. And for me, Ryder's best opportunity in this fight is to keep Canelo's back against the ropes and work when he doesn't want to work. And try to somehow force a stoppage. Force a stoppage. Yes. Because that's the only way he wins this fight. Because we all know Canelo's going to be back home. He's already 12 rounds up on the scorecard in the first fight. And he's 12 rounds up on the second in a rematch. Because there's no way Canelo's going to lose in Mexico. So the only way Canelo's going to lose in Mexico is by knockout. So Ryder is going to have to knock Canelo out. Not going to beat him on points. So that's why I say the strategy for Ryder is quite simple. Push Canelo, get Canelo, you're physically strong enough. Push Canelo back. Push him back against the ropes. And just fight on the inside of Canelo. Push him back against the ropes and fight. Fight when he wants to fight and fight when he doesn't want to fight. Because Canelo can only fight in what's the word? He can only fight in spurts. He's like Chris Eubank Sr. Eubank never used to fight for 3 full minutes. He would throw punches and he'd have a break, throw punches and have a break. Canelo cannot fight for 12 rounds, 12 hard rounds, pushed at a pace. He tends to tire. And if there's any chance of exposing if Canelo is on the decline, or he's not been training in the way he should be, or he's overlooking John Ryder, this is the only way Ryder's going to find out. Back Canelo up, push him against the ropes, and go to body and head, and just unload on him for every round. Unload and land that straight left hand as often as possible. You have to look at boxing with for me, a strategic mindset. Now, this all goes to pot if Ryder's head's not in it. I know what Canelo can do, and Canelo's not going to improve at this point. Canelo's very good if you allow him to get onto the front foot and land them body shots and be on the attack. He's very good with that. But Ryder, but if Ryder can get Canelo into his type of fight, I believe Ryder throws more punches, more consistent, and body and head puts combinations together better, I think, on the inside. Canelo is better on the outside in this fight, but I'd like to see what happens if Canelo's backed up and Ryder's got enough time to get that left hand in and let shots go. We haven't really ever seen Canelo really hurt. Has Ryder got the power to actually hurt him? That's the question. That's the question. Can he hurt him? Because that's what's gonna count in this fight. Let's see what people are saying here. Long live the Ing. Yeah, thanks. Canelo will carve him up. I don't know. I've never seen Canelo carve up anybody, but anyway. if it was me with proper trainer, work on inside, time up, push Canelo back, lean on him, especially that left side. He's had knee problems for some time. Push down on the left side. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? Now that's some boxing talk I like to hear. Push Canelo back, force him back. Oh, Shook, by the way, thank you so much for being a member for so long. I'm going to do a members special because you've been a member for so long. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your membership and your commitment. I really appreciate it. I think Ryder's got a great chance if he can force Canelo back. I just can't see why people don't think this is a great fight. This, for me, is a great fight. If Ryder's in this fight, right? If Ryder's in this fight, he takes the body shots. I do see if the one I do envision Ryder getting knocked up by a body shot. That's the sort of thing I see in this fight. But if he doesn't, and he can soak up Canelo's punches, and he can you see, the punches that Ryder's got to be careful of in this fight is Canelo's uppercut. He's got to be careful of Canelo's uppercut. But Ryder's southpaw stance, his punching power, because Ryder can punch, he's heavy-handed. But it's just his temperament at the next level. Is he going to crack when he sees Canelo's face on the other side of the ring? Will he crack? Will he still be there? Some fighters, they go in awe of the guy that they're fighting. And they're like, oh my God, I'm fighting Canelo. I can't believe this. I'm fighting Canelo. There are guys like that. And then there are other guys that think, you know what? This is my opportunity. Forget Canelo. I'm coming here to cause the upset. And I don't know what mindset he is. Canelo will wipe the floor. Still one of the greatest of all times. I don't agree with you on that one, bro. I mean, he might be one of the greatest fighters of all time, but fighters, no matter who you are in the world of boxing, you have a time and there's a time where you're going to decline. And a southpaw, I think Ryder is highly underrated. It's like if Ryder pushes Canelo back and can hurt him, which he's got to do, the key to success for Canelo, for Ryder, are this. He's got to be able to, first of all, he's got to be able to back Canelo up. I think he's physically strong enough for that. Then, with that left hand, he's got to hurt Canelo early. If he can back Canelo up and hurt him early, we have a fight in our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the two key things for me. The other concern is Mexico and the heat. Yes, I know Las Vegas, and I know LA pretty well. And the weather there is scorching heat. I think LA, when I talk about heat, I mean, I'm living in Africa now. I'm living in Nigeria. And LA is hotter than Nigeria. I mean, I remember walking downtown LA and I was seeing heat waves. The people were walking in slow motion. That's what it was like when I was in LA. And then I've been in Australia. The only other place I've been in the world where I've seen heat waves like that, and I've seen like bees coming to me in slow motion, is Australia. Australia and LA have got that sort of desert heat. And it's a different kind of heat. And that's another thing that may be a concern for Ryder in Mexico. And there's something he'll have to be careful of. He'll have to be careful of the way he eats, the food he eats. He'll have to be careful of things like dehydration. You have to be very careful out there because they're going to do him no favors whatsoever going to in Mexico. No favors whatsoever. And his team he's got, I think it's Tony Sims in his corner, but I think it's Tony Sims. But, they still have to, it has to be experienced corner for that. Ryder will take a dive. He knows he won't get out of Mexico if he beats Canelo. Now that right there is a possibility. But then Lucas Brown for, what was his name? And he got out of the country. And who else was it for? Lucas Brown beat, I think whoever the champion was. He beat him and he got out of the country. And Klitschko beat Povetkin, got out of the country. However, that being said, I don't think Ryder's at that level. Ryder not bad. He'd be a good fight for any of the 168 pounds. Canelo's beat, but Canelo 68. Canelo's best, but Canelo's special. Canelo is special. I think Canelo's fought. I will say this again. Canelo's fought a lot of guys that have suited his style. Bivol did not suit his style. He did not adjust and he got beat. I will say that. And the problems that Floyd gave Canelo never made adjustments. When there were problems with Canelo, he couldn't make the adjustments. And again, we saw that. We saw it with the Floyd fight, and we saw it again in the Bivol fight. Do you think Canelo could have beaten Floyd if he had fought Floyd not so young? Well, that's kind of like the impossible question. Well, tell me, where's Canelo improved? He's more experienced, but where is he improved? Where is he improved? So all that great heavyweight movement stuff, we're still getting popped off by Bivol. Look, hand speed, athleticism, movement, ring IQ. Canelo is good, but he never solved the puzzle of Floyd. And then he met another guy who had good movement, good jab, good boxing ability. He couldn't beat him either. I don't know. The whole team of Tim Ryder will be on milk cartons. Oh boy. Isn't fighting Cartel Heartland 2? LOL. Good luck, Ryder. Yeah. For Ryder, the best bet is just being grimy in the fight, seeking to aggravate old Canelo injuries like the elbow or the left knee. That's it. Lucas did pop 30 a few days later after he lost belt. Test was overturned. Yeah, I think for me, it's certain, Ryder is an old pro, and it won't be the first time he's been in hostile territory. I mean, fighting in small hall shows and that mentality. I think there are ways you can be in this fight that, if you can get in there and you can hurt Canelo early, buzz Canelo a few times, be messy, stay tight, just mess Canelo around for 12 rounds, and he gets the point decision. Listen, let's put it this way. If you gave me the 3 fights, Ryder, Saunders, and Smith, I would pick Ryder every time. Because I know Smith is going to use the jab, hide behind the jab, and lay on the ropes and get beat up. I know Saunders, he ain't got the power to do anything, and I don't think Saunders is as good as Ryder today. So I never saw Saunders. Saunders didn't have a chance against Canelo. I knew Saunders, once Canelo started ripping the body and started bringing the uppercut through the middle, and Saunders always used to put his head forward, lean his head forward over his front foot to be nailed with the uppercut. So there's no way I thought Billy Joe Saunders was going to beat Canelo. He just didn't have the firepower for it. But this guy here, Ryder, I think he's got firepower, and he knows how to fight excellent on the inside. He's an excellent inside fighter. So neither Smith nor Saunders are inside fighters like that. Smith likes to use his jab long. And again, Saunders likes to keep things at distance. He don't like when you get up close on him. With this guy, Ryder, he likes it up close on him because that's how he fights. If Canelo boxes, fine. I don't think Ryder has much of a chance. If Ryder is able to engage Canelo in a fight, then yes. And yes, I do agree totally with what people are saying in terms of where the fight is. Where the fight is key. There's degrees of improvement, though, surely. Just because you get beat by Bivol don't mean you haven't improved. It's how you get beat, mate. And this is more from a coaching perspective, and it's not because I'm a boxing coach, but nothing to do with that. When in coaching, a high-level coaching or elite coaching, you analyze, use video analysis, you look at a person, you see, well, where have you improved? Your mentality. When things get difficult for you, when you start being posed a problem, when puzzles are being posed and you can't just walk through a guy with your power, knock a guy over, and he's causing you problems, he's frustrating you, he's sticking a jab at you, he's moving, he's got a better ring IQ than yourself, what do you do? Not much. Not much. And I will challenge anybody. Can Canelo fight a full 12 rounds at a pace? I don't think he can. I think he fights in spurts, like I said. So it'd be interesting to see someone who push him up against the ropes and put it on him. Just want to see what happens. Suleiman blocking Bivol versus Bertabiev, undisputed, is disgraceful. Well, Beterbiev was beating up Bivol and sparring. That's what I heard. Soul fought one Smith and ended it with a body shot. As for Callum Smith, that could be something amazing. Smith. The cartels are American-born gang members that brought their business to Mexico. They will have very little, if anything, to do with the domestic Mexican sports cards. They don't invest in sports. Very interesting. Thank you for that bit of information. Well, upsets do happen. And if Ryder were to upset Canelo, I would not be surprised, because at this point of Canelo's career, when I'm already hearing things like Canelo's not as dedicated, he's now doing golf and playing more golf than ever. You can't keep at top level, producing top level wins over and over again after the amount of fights Canelo's had. That's my concern. That's my concern. I'm concerned with Canelo that at any given night now, he can look like an old man. At any given night now. Because this guy's had so many fights at high level, back to back or back at times. And the injuries, which he's got now, not the same fighter. Push him in a hard fight. Let's see. Let's see. Here comes the hot stepper. Remember me? Didn't Mafia and cartels deal in box match fixing? Didn't know if this was conspiracy or not. Well, I do believe they're involved at some point. But, you know. How is it Bivol, half Korean, Beterbiev, a Chechen, suffer boycotts due to Russia, and they are not ethnic Russians? Weird penalties being imposed. Ingram, you ain't done a live commentary for a while. What about Haney versus Lomo? I know I haven't done it for a while. It's just being in Nigeria has made things very difficult in terms of getting the old stream going. And you know, the other thing is, you can't buy the pay-per-views like that. But you could buy the pay-per-views, you're right. So they got something called Super Sports. So whereas I can watch it on my TV, but I have to subscribe to Super Sports. That's another conversation altogether. Suleiman suddenly finds his morals with Russian fighters, but gave Conor an excuse for popping dirty. Well, oh, by the way, did anyone catch Conor Ben in the series or match room in camp with Ryder? Conor was in camp like nothing happened. Like, he didn't pop dirty. That's funny. Sheffield. You still pressing 20k? Aye, nice for you to come on the show and have a conversation with somebody else without saying good evening to me. Thank you. Is boxing big in Nigeria? Got a lot of fighters here. A lot of fighters. And my friend who's a promoter brings a lot of fighters to the UK that fight on the cards. And the big cards as well. So, yeah, I'd say it's fairly big. The King is home. Should be a title for Ingram Jones visiting England again. The UK needs your wisdom, sir. Don't mind the UK. I wouldn't mind using my sumo wisdom here in Nigeria. But, you know, as it goes, how it goes. Saw Conor Ben in camp with John Ryder. Eggs were boiling on the stove. Damn. That's amazing. Good evening to you, Ingram. Always respect to be shown to the King. The Ing. Thank you very much. Simmons Gym looks like the New England Gym. Ben, Felix Cash, ducking drug tests. Joe Cordina rumors. Who's next? You're well connected promoters too. How did you manage that man? I didn't manage it. You know what? It's something I might even consider doing now. Either a promoter or management license. Might try and go that or get a professional boxing license for training. I am still considering it. I mean, Bashir said to me, even I think a month ago, he said, whenever you're ready to start, come. Let's get started. But, you know, drugs is UK boxing. You're a bit slow, aren't you, at Volts? It's all about roids here. Well, it's a shame, isn't it? It's a real shame. It's a shame that people are. It's not a shame that people be exposed, but something's going on. Something's going on. You have the knowledge and expertise. I think you should do it. I love to get involved with it, mate. I really would. Really would love to get involved with it, but boxing's very different. I haven't. If I'm gonna leave what I'm doing at the moment, after just now getting my level 3 now, like international level coaching, and to come into boxing now, I'd want to have a secure deal. And what I mean by secure deal is like, look, if I'm leaving what I'm leaving, I'm not asking to get paid X amount of money, but it'd be more the case of it needs to be secure. I'm not just kind of jumping into the unknown and not having, like, I know where my gym's going to be, I know the fighters I'm going to be working with, that sort of thing. And the way you get that security for me would be to at least go and get your license. Do your license, get your license done, and then become an understudy. That's why I think it's going to work. Conor calling out Thurman. Conor's calling out Pacquiao as well, but that's why Malignaggi and Marquez used drugs against Pacman in self-defense. First time I've heard doping used as self-defense mechanism. I swear he never calls out anyone who's same weight and within 5 years age difference. England Jones, if I come over to your team, I need to know that the bag is secured and at least 7 figures. I don't know about all that bit, but it's something I certainly want to do. But, a lot of things you have to consider as well. A lot of things to consider. Only dudes who hate roids are married and never achieved their potential. And at 20 gave up and age 50 wives divorced them. You at Vault UK. Love. Mr. Pigeon, have I done something wrong to you? Do you even say good evening? Conor versus Tank at 140. Off topic. But what do you think about YouTube boxing? I think it's changed. I think the standards have lowered. I think the standards have lowered. I think you've got more quantity but less quality. You've got more people wanting to be first than wanting to be right. You've got more people that want to speculate than actually take the time and get the facts. And there's less people doing interviews with really experienced people that know their business. And there's a lot of fly-by-nights that are getting a lot of exposure. And the real experienced coaches are not getting the kudos that they deserve. And they're the ones that really need to be interviewed. They're the ones you need to be hearing from, because they're the ones that are going to educate you and give you the facts. Roger Mayweather say people don't know shit about boxing. That was a quote by him. But he was a very knowledgeable guy about boxing. A lot of them, from him, Floyd, Mayweather Sr., Roger Mayweather, all say that Roger Mayweather's age and older. Them guys, they know their boxing. I'm not saying because they're old, but they carry a certain amount of wisdom, a certain amount of that to earn their spot. They didn't just go and get a boxing license and say, I want to be a trainer tomorrow and work at Fitness First and then become a boxing trainer. You know what I mean? Can't believe Fournier, who fought David Hayes, fighting KSI. I think KSI will get beaten quite badly, sadly. I think he might get beaten as well quite badly. Ingram on YouTube boxing, bruv, they're well chuffed and they ain't doing nothing. What do you think of ID Boxing buying Boxing News? Don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, Boxing News back in the day, I would every week I'd be going to W.H. Smith to go and check out Boxing News. Not anymore. And one of the reasons why is because I'm not in England anymore. But two, I don't know. It doesn't relate anymore. It doesn't relate to like back in the day when you had Boxing News. I don't know. Boxing changed. It's not the same. Not the same. Just not the same. Fitness First. It's true though. I don't know. I think people focus on things in boxing now, like gates and contracts and promoters, and spend less time focusing on fighters, fighting tactics, fighters' backgrounds, and really doing the research on the fighters. Too much social media rubbish now. And I think that's ruined it. That's ruined it. I remember back in the day, even, right, there was a story that was built. Like, I remember Scott Harrison, when he got to the point of becoming world champion, he lost the world championship and he got the championship back again. Those nights, or when, Paul Ingle fought for the world title, or, Michael Brody fought Indian Chi. Remember Indian Chi? Those nights, or when Bruno fought for the world title against McCall. It wasn't about the contract Bruno got with McCall, how much Bruno was getting paid for the fight. You weren't cared about it. You really were passionate. In fact, you wanted Bruno to win the world title if you were British. And a lot of that crap, a lot of stuff there has kind of been put to the side now. And it's all been a voice of these people who, A, don't know about boxing, and B, just skip from one week to the next flavor of the week. And they're coming from Twitter. And a lot of that Twitter nonsense is getting now into people who've got cameras. And it's about what the promoter likes, as opposed to what we want to really hear, which is the truth. So I think maybe ID Boxing, they do some really good interviews. So maybe if they can get in a magazine and can reach the market that's certainly missing in boxing at the moment and fill the niche in, then yeah, I think they could do well with it. Who, top prospect in the area of Nigeria you live? There's a young girl who's world champion. She's WBF world champion. She beat a girl called Laura Payne from Portsmouth. Actually, a girl I interviewed. She went and beat up Laura Payne in her own backyard in Portsmouth as well. Coogan Kill Boxing News. No comment. Boxing King Media is growing though. Soon will be overtaking IFL. Boxing King Media, like them. A lot of respect for them. You see, Talk Sport. I love Talk Sport. I love Talk Sport because Talk Sport for me is taking it back to the olden days. It's going back. You know what? You have to go back. If you used to watch Ringside, old school Ringside, before freaking Adam Smith came along, Gary Norman, Glenn McCrory, Ian Dark, Jim Watt, Gary Mason, Nicky Piper. What happened to Nicky Piper, by the way? Never seen him around anymore. That was where boxing was at its height. Ringside. When them guys used to sit down and talk boxing, they talk boxing. Ian Dark, they tell you, I don't think he's going to win this fight tonight, But maybe if he does this and this, he could win the fight. He's going to have to stick on the jab, or he's going to have to stay on side on the outside, or you have to keep wearing the right hand. You have to circle to the left, whatever. That was where they gave you a proper breakdown of boxing. And Ian Dark would give you a story. He'd break it down. He'd tell you about give you a little story about the fighter's past, and he's really good with it, commentating. That's what I miss. So Talk Sport, in its own little way, is reminding me of Ringside. Because it's got that sort of trying to keep it real. And you've got, what's his name? See the guy from Crystal Palace now. And I like him a lot. And he said, don't come on here and be a mouthpiece for AJ and Hearn. So he just tells it as it is. And I like it. I like it a lot. But always BWTM Sports will be the most reputable. We try, my friend. We try. I'm hearing Time Booth is making a return on one of them YouTube freak cards. Yeah, listen. We as much as we want to call it a freak cards, it's the future. And it's the future that I predicted. It's the future I predicted right here. So I'm a big fan of Time Booth. I watch YouTube lives every time. Yeah, he's a character, isn't he? Boxing needs characters. You mean Simon Jordan? Yeah, that's it. Simon Jordan, thank you so much. Boxing needs characters. Boxing needs characters. They need characters. And Simon Jordan says he wants to get into boxing. Apparently studying it now to see if it's worth it. Yeah, he should. He should. I think he should have his own boxing TV show. That's what I think. I think he should have his own boxing TV. I think he should have his own boxing TV show. Simon, if you're listening, do your own boxing TV show. Bring fighters on and interview fighters and pull up these promoters. And you might be the guy that could pull Hearn, Warren, Hennessy, what's these other guys? Sowland, Bob Arum. Get them all in a room. Let them have a face-off. Simon Jordan could pull that off. He could pull it off very well indeed. Simon should take over board. Yeah, gosh. Simon Jordan like Marmite. Some people love him, some people hate him. But you got to ask yourself the question, why do people hate him? Simon is cleaned up because there's been some very poor boxing. I don't even use the word journalism. Let me see where I was on the weekend. I was on a weekend with a guy who worked for the BBC for 19 years. And all the media, all the big, like now, the lady I met, I was on the same TV channel as her. Now she's working for BBC Africa. So she works for BBC. He worked for BBC for 19 years. And I'm on, every Friday, I'm on this TV network on national television. And I do a half an hour slot talking boxing, cricket, football. Mainly boxing and cricket. I talk about football a little bit. My prediction was that Arsenal would not win the league this season, but Man City would come from behind and win the league because I think Arsenal will bottle it. And, well, sorry, Arsenal fans. But anyway, it was just nice to be in a room that Saturday mixing with all those top media people, and I certainly want to push myself further up in media. People hate him because he's hard-hitting, tells truths, and people don't want to hear. That's it. It keeps people out of a delusional state. That's all it is. All Simon Jordan is doing is just all he's doing is lifting the carpet up. That's all he's doing. He's just lifting the carpet up, which most of these so-called media journalists should be doing. But they won't do that because they're too biased. They're getting paid by the promoter. Or the promoters help them get their sponsorship deals. Or the promoter is putting them up in a hotel room. Or the promoter's got them but telling them what to ask. These sort of things, this pally relationship, which is good. I'm glad it's gone that way because now people like Simon Jordan and Talk Sport, who's got no relationship with these promoters, can start pulling these people in and start asking questions. What for? God damn, England big time now. National TV. Bro, it's been like that way for the last year. Boxing journalists too reliant on access have to play a game if they want to earn living. That's why when I was back in the UK, they hated me because I didn't need their access. Yeah, love him. Truly him. England's already been seen by more people than Joshua Buatsi. That's another one. That's another one that's hiding glass. Joshua Buatsi is hiding glass. I know a chinny bloke when I see him, and he's chinny. Wait. You think there's a reason why he didn't go and fight Pascal? Pascal's a heavy hitter. Now, you see, if you're just struggling to get past Craig Richards, I'm sorry. He's not winning no world title. I've told you already. He ain't winning no world title. Right. Yeah, I've gone a bit off topic, but I just hope Ryder can. There's either two ways I see this fight going with Ryder. Most overrated British boxer, I think Daniel Dubois. What about you? Joshua Buatsi. Well, at least Daniel Dubois has actually won a version of the world title. And in a shorter space of time than Joshua Buatsi. So, yeah. Buatsi is a special talent, just being managed poorly. No, he's not a special talent. He's not a special talent. What is special about? Okay, what's special about him? I want to know what's special about him. I didn't see enough. I don't see nothing special about him. I see a guy that has got a very poor defense and overrated punching power And I think it's a guy that I think Anthony Yard could knock out quite easily. Honestly, I've said it already. Should have more than 16 fights, 7 years into career. No, into career. But you say he's managed badly. But when you don't, I don't think Boatsy believes in himself the way I think people believe in Joshua Boatsy more than he believes in himself. That's my opinion. Fundamentally sound, bro. He's not fundamentally sound. What is fundamentally sound about Joshua Boatsy? The fact that he gets hit with straight right hands all night long. After Joe Joyce, in terms of being able to get out of the way of a right hand, Joshua Boatsy's up there. He's in the top 10 in UK of unable to get out of the way of a right hand. Is what it is. And if you're getting your face blown up, like you go life and death with a guy that isn't even well ranked, come on, man. He's not fundamentally sound. Fundamentally sound, boxing's hit and not get hit. Not hit and then get hit with another 10 right hands over the top. My friend, that's not fundamentally sound. I'd say Eubank is most overrated currently. They don't hand out gold medals willy-nilly. Yeah, it's easy to say that, but that's the amateurs, mate. That's the amateurs, not the pros. Not the pros. Well, okay, that's not the pros. That's why they called it the amateurs and the pros. And because you get a gold medal in the amateurs, yeah, it does say you've got some ability, yes, and it should take you some places. But wasn't there another amateur the other day that had a gold medal and got chinned in a round? Happens, bro. Listen, didn't Tyro Biggs get an Olympic gold medal? And he beat Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe. Yeah, he got a gold medal. And what? Did he win a world title? No, he got punched up by Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson didn't go get a gold medal, did he? So what you say? Bro, what you saying? Come on, you can't drop them one-liners to me like that. You should know better, Liam. You can't drop them one-liners to me like that. Yes, winning a gold medal does say you've got some fundamentals. That's true. But you've got to move on from that. You've got to progress your style. Your style has got to improve. And if you're in the pro game and you're getting hit with straight right hands at domestic level, bro, you've got no chance. Imagine him fighting Artur Beterbiev, getting hit with them straight right hands. Jesus. You're asking for murder, ain't you? You're asking for murder, ain't you? He cannot get out of the way of a right hand. He couldn't get out of the right hand against Craig Richards. And I told people he's not knocking old Craig Richards out. In fact, I think Craig Richards will hurt him. And he did. Imagine that's Yard hit him on the chin with that right hand. That's what Yard knocks him out. Because Yard's going to catch him with that right hand. And he constantly catch him with that right hand. And he won't be able to shake it off. And if he's getting rocked by Craig Richards, I think Yard hits a lot harder. To be fair, he's unbeaten. Against who? I'm unbeaten, but I ain't fought no one. I'm sitting behind my chair. Bratz is nearly 8 years a pro and still no acid test. Thank you very much. If he's any good, if he's any real good, and his own management don't back him, his own management don't believe in him. And by the way, take it from me, anyone who leaves their current promotional outfit and goes to Matchroom, they're going to get knocked out. Don't matter who you are, you're going to get knocked out because Matchroom are not going to care for you. Matchroom are not matchmakers. They're money makers. Understand, that's their business. That's their model. If you're going to Matchroom, you're going to make money. But also understand, you're going to get knocked out. So be prepared to get knocked out. Agree. He's a few fights away from... So he's a few... I mean, you mean a few fights away? I thought this guy was special. How many fights away is he? 258. Oh, joke. 123, you mean? Boatsy in an interview today stated he's ready for a world title. What world title? Against who? Against who? 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 What world title? You think what? You think Boatsy could be Bivol? And you think he could be Berservio or Better Beef? Hey, he can't even beat Joe Smith Jr. He can't even beat Joe Smith Jr. I would even argue if he could beat Jean Pascal. 40 plus Pascal. No, sorry. He can say what he wants in the interview. He's got to say it in the interview. He's got to put the impression on with boxer. Yeah, I'm ready for a world title. So you had the opportunity to fight Pascal, and you didn't take that fight. Okay, fine. So let's see who you fight now. You say you're ready for a world title fight. Who are you fighting? They say you're ready for a world title fight. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I know you're ready to get punched up by someone who's got some punching power on you. That's all I know. Listen, Joshua Buatsy's done nothing wrong to me. He's a nice guy. He's a nice kid. Bro, you want to kill? You want him murdered or what? Callum Smith is good. Listen, Callum Smith would lay Joshua Buatsy out like a carpet, a roller carpet. It'll be rolled out like a carpet. You know how? Go and watch Sambu Colombe against Michael Nunn. That's what I think Callum Smith would lay out Joshua Buatsy. In fact, that's the way I expect Joshua Buatsy to get knocked out. One shot, bang, out on the canvas flat. I'm telling you, I think he's chinny. I really do. I'm just messing with him. Want to see your reaction. Ha ha ha. Yeah, well, you got my reaction, mate. You know I keep it real. I like Joshua Buatsy, but please don't tell me he's special. Please don't tell me he's world class. He's not. And that other guy, that 18-year-old, I think he's the next Mike Tyson. No. Stop it. Just stop it. What? Buatsy would more Callum late stoppage. What? Are you talking about the Callum Smith that's been trained by Buddy McGirt today? You're crazy, mate. You're crazy. I think Buatsy may have had a better chance against the Callum Smith being trained by Joe Gallagher. But this Callum Smith, this front foot Callum Smith is punching. My friend, no. Mate, you're not watching boxing, mate. I'm telling you. The special talk was the Sky Machine pushing him all the time. Yeah, exactly. Of course it was. Of course it was special talk. What makes him special? What is it? Does he have extremely big punch? Does he have extremely fast hands? Is he a defensive wizard? Is he like got a sniper style? No. Very basic. 1, 2, 3, up and down. Yeah. No frills and spills. That's Joshua Buatsy. Basic. Very basic. That's what it is. What does he do special? I mean, one thing Joshua Buatsy does special. Oh, I know what he does. He shaves his beard before the fight. So he doesn't have a beard before he fights. That's it. Yeah. That's it. What does he do special? I'm still trying to work out what is... When you talk about something special, like you can see Gennady Golovkin was special. The way he was knocking guys out, you're like, this guy can punch. These guys punching guys. He's going backwards and still knocking guys out. At a certain level, Golovkin was pretty special. You could see certain things. Like Joe Kawasaki, the hand speed, the combinations, the movement. Yeah, you can see he's got something there. There's something special there about him. But I don't see nothing that's for him to be special, something that's got to be outstanding about him. Unless I've seen nothing that's outstanding about Joshua Buatsy. Sorry. You know, he's ranked number 2 in the world by WBO and 3 by WBA. Not sure how reputable the rankings are, though. Not very reputable at all, mate. Egg movement could be better, but he's like 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 in everything else. Wow, bro. You've been playing Fight Night 3 too long, mate. You've been playing Fight Night too much, mate. Bro, you've been playing Fight Night too much on PlayStation, bro, or wherever you've been playing, mate, because it's not real, mate. It's not real. I don't know where you get them stats from. 8 out of 10. No, bro. He's not 8 out of 10 anything else, mate. His chin ain't 8 out of 10. That's for sure. His chin is not 8 out of 10. That's for sure. For sure. Buatsy should be 168. I would agree with that. I would agree with Boatsy being 168er. Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, let me ask you a question. Is Boatsy ready to fight Canelo? I tell you what, see the guy fighting tonight, fighting Canelo, I'd give him a good shot at Boatsy. I'd give him a damn good shot at Boatsy. John Ryder against Boatsy, I'd watch that fight. Check it out at 168. Bro, I don't know what all the fuss is about Boatsy. I just can't see it. Somehow I cannot see it. Can't see it. You know who I think is special? Richard Riakporhe. That guy is special. That guy is very special. Richard Riakporhe. He's special. He's special. He can turn your lights at one punch. One more fight for Canelo. I reckon he'd beat Ryder. You reckon he'd beat Ryder? I don't know. I don't think Boatsy beats Ryder, because I don't think Boatsy fights well on the inside, and I think if Ryder gets close, he's going to land that left hand, and then he'll rock him, and then you'll see Ryder go to town. Mate, a lot of people underestimate Ryder. I think he's a very good fighter. I really do. I don't know. Coley is the man at that weight. Oh my God. Listen, I like Lawrence Coley, but I like Lawrence, man, but I don't know if he's the best cruiserweight in the world, because I think let him deal with Richard Riakporhe. Richard Riakporhe is something special. I want to see him fight Riakporhe. I think Riakporhe beats him, but we'll see. We'll see. He has to beat Richard Riakporhe for me, because I think Richard Riakporhe is the best in the world, I think. But time will tell. He's still got to fight for a world title, but the way he's handling business, smoothly. So we'll see. Richard Riakporhe. Let's wait and see. Anyway, let me finish this chat here, because I want to do another show. But thank you all for watching as always. This has been BWTM Sports. Good luck to John Ryder on the weekend. Please, John, put him onto the back foot and have a go. But I know it's going to be interesting for as long as it lasts. As long as John Ryder, and this is the key thing, John Ryder is not in awe of Canelo, or he's not starstruck by Canelo, and if he wants to have a go, it'll be a great fight. If he's starstruck, then it'll be something different. Apparently, Wilder wants Fury again. He's always going to want Fury again. You know, so anyway, thank you for watching. I'll be back with another one later. Take care.